Belleville Area District Library Board, will please come to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okey-dokey.
Okey-dokey.
We will begin with our roll call, and for that, I will call on our secretary, Alma Hughes Rose.
No. One of these.
I should have gotten up and got that.
Oh, you got one? Okay.
Dawson?
Here.
Eureka?
Here.
Peters?
Here.
Priest?
Here.
Stottlemyre?
Yeah.
Hughes Groves? And Jacobitz?
We are anticipating she will join us. We thank you very much. We have a quorum present, and we will move along on item 3, which is approval of our agenda.
So moved.
I'll second. It's been moved by Jariga and supported by Dawson that the agenda for the October 11th, 2022 meeting be approved. Before we take a vote, are there any comments or anything needs to be adjusted on the agenda? This is a pretty straightforward agenda. Then, hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by saying nay. The ayes have it. We have no opposing votes. Now we move to item 4, which is the September 13th, 2022 regular meeting minutes, which were circulated prior to the meeting and are in your board packet.
Most of the minutes as together.
It has been moved by Stottlemyre and supported by Priest that the minutes from September 13th, 2022 be approved. Again, are there any comments, any corrections, anything that we need to clarify? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by saying no. The minutes have carried with no opposing votes. And
Do the
now,
minutes have to be signed by who
no,
recorded the minutes? It's a legal document.
We've never done that.
We've never done
it
it.
doesn't have to be
Oh,
signed.
okay, I thought that, okay.
No.
12 years later.
Yeah, you've only been here for quite a little while, John, but I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
And you
glad.
know what? It's your job to sign all of them.
Yeah, go to everyone you've ever been to. I'm glad you're still having new ideas after all these years.
Even the building.
We will move to item 5, which is public comments, and we do have members of the public. Anybody in the public want to say something to us?
Other than I love my library, no.
Very good. I want all of you to meet Dan Fleming. Did you meet him yet, Tanya?
Oh, Dan Fleming. Nice to meet you.
Dan is the name on the ballot with you, and here's our joy. Here's our joy. I knew she'd be here. And Joy, have you met Dan? This is public comments, and Dan is our public. And he will,
Dan?
our public, soon to be our regular guy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I don't know if John will know what to do with himself if he's not the only man. You're gonna have another guy.
They've been ganging up on you, John?
I can handle it.
You think so? You think so?
can handle it.
Well, we welcome you, and we're glad to have Rosemary, as we customarily do. And if you do think of something you want to ask, you can, we are flexible. Now we are to committee reports, and we can start with the building committee that our building committee chair was the only person who came to.
So we don't have a building committee report. But I
Exactly.
bet that
We do
Mary
have-
Jo has some stuff.
We do have in the, you want to do it now? We have quite a bit of stuff in the director's report this time. And what we have on the building is in the director's report, so maybe we should just go over that
Go
now.
for it.
Okay. I met a couple of weeks ago, the big meeting happened between the heating and cooling people, the electronic controls people, so the long mechanical MEC from the electronic controls company, the architectural engineer, Dan Whistler, our architect, me and Matt from Belleville Construction. Had a very lengthy meeting. The controls,
How lengthy?
well, it was 3 hours.
Oh, MG.
Probably, and the last part was just Dan and Dean and I talking about stuff, so probably 2 hours with the HVAC people. The controls should all be able to move seamlessly between heating and cooling and humidification. There are still some settings we'll have to tweak. The humidity level is set to turn on when the outside temperature dips below 30 degrees. And the humidity level at that point is set to 35%. We will notify Dean once the humidification system does actually kick in, for him to just double check and make sure that everything is working the way it should be working. We looked at a whole bunch of other different preferred settings for pulling outside air into the building. It's kind of a lot of this related to COVID, trying to get as much in practical terms, as much air into the building as possible. There are certain times during the year where you can't always do that. If it's too hot or too cold out, kind of defeats the purpose of having
Right.
heating and cooling system.
Since the system is not really working yet, did we pay long?
We have not paid yet.
We didn't pay.
No, we're waiting for this.
Good.
So we're gonna have a building committee meeting. before we do
Yeah.
anything Like that.
And I'm hoping that there will be a November building committee, and I'm actually hoping at that point that we'll have everything taken care of and be able to close out the project with O'Neill
We
Construction. So,
won't know how to act.
On that deal across the street, you asked me at the last meeting, when's that concrete gonna be poured next to the church?
That's on here too.
Because there's a pipe and it's unidentified, and they think it's a drain pipe from the baptismal fount of Baptist Church, which to them
Really?
is very important. Obviously, so, and then when they went to add color to the water to test the drainage, Rick could not attend, he was ill with COVID, so it's still up in the air, that's why it's not been done yet.
You have a line on here, don't you, Mary Jo?
I talked about that a little bit, yeah.
The Roy Street
Okay, well,
sidewalk.
just to wrap up that heating and cooling, we also looked at proposed adjustments for the radiant heating in the floor in the story time room. We're gonna have to do a lot of experimentation with it to get the right point, because the regular HVAC system and the floor heater kind of sometimes at
Separate.
cross purposes, they're separate systems. The floor system, it takes a lot longer for it to heat and to cool, and so it's not as immediate, so it's a little bit harder to,
Hmm.
but we'll be able to figure out a happy medium, like the floor should be X number of degrees. And so, just being able to set the right temperatures, so. I
Gotta get the recipe right.
gotta get the recipe right, and I assume that will be happening the next, in the coming months as it's starting to get cooler. The other pending items that we talked about, as John had mentioned, the Roy Street sidewalk. At the time I was meeting with them, the only thing we knew was that the forms had been set, but the concrete's, hadn't been poured yet. The controller for the ceiling light, the colored lighting in the children's room, the children's colors, we're still waiting for that controller.
It just broke, the other one broke, or?
There's one controller controlling two lights, and it wasn't supposed to be that way, so now
Oh, okay.
there's gonna be basically three different lights, colored lights with three different controllers, but we're
Okay.
waiting for that last one, so. And
These are on
seems to be
those-
taking forever.
On those curve.
It's on the
things.
curved ceiling, the uplighting, yeah. Also waiting for the still waiting for the electrician for the, there's a 2x2 LED light in the ceiling of the kids are waiting on. Flagpole light is also still a pending issue. Further discussion on the draining of the water by the meeting room entry. We actually went outside and looked at it and talked about it. Dan and Dean discussed this, and they've kind of run into some issues. So they determined that the best route to take first is to just suck up the concrete, which was where we were at.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's where we were after a lengthy meeting.
Yeah, so
and
we're
yak,
back,
yak.
we're back to that.
We were just like Congress.
I tell you.
I've also requested from Dean an extension to the length of time that the lights remain lit in the quiet study room. People are sitting in there quietly studying and the lights go out while moving. So that could.
Yeah,
this
so
could be a little bit
funny.
longer. You just stretch and it's way in.
To put a sign, please move your body every 15
Yeah.
minutes.
It's our part of our wellness program.
Right.
It's a feature, not a bug. So that, I also asked for that. And then, as I said earlier, I'm really hoping to get that final construction bill from O'Neill at the end of October. Try to wrap all of this up. This doesn't mean we break our relationship with them. It just means that it's, for the construction portion of this project is done, it'll just come out of our regular budget.
So that whole first half of the page is the building committee report, so which is good. These are all good things, and on behalf of Joy and Mary Jane and John and I, we're glad that we weren't there for the whole 3 hours.
That was the one I walked in.
She walked by, and poor MJ thought she was missing a brother.
Yeah, I thought I was missing a meeting. I think my son from Colorado was in visiting and he hadn't seen the library. And so I said, well, let me show you the boardroom. And they were all sitting around the table. I'm like,
Did I
I miss
miss
something?
something?
And I was like, come on, you can join us. She's like, no.
No, thank you. Well,
Introduce Jim and off we went.
these are our last little details, and they certainly are compared to what we've been through. It's a little stuff, but some of these things are kind of lagging along, but it looks like they're coming along. It'd be nice when that sidewalk gets done, but it's not up to us. Some of her other parts of her report might come into our committee reports, but for right now, and unless Joy has something else to say, we'll move on to the bylaws committee. John?
No report.
All righty, and the finance committee? No report. No report. We can, then the marketing committee?
Well, just to comment on the event Saturday, it was a huge success and the amount of children that were running around, it was just amazing. And the weather was a little cooler than we had anticipated, but it was still very well attended.
I liked the idea of doing the crafts, a lot of the work inside. It kind of gave a different, the inside of the building was just all the way live. But it did, like they have the apples and the corn and all this. And last year, it was a hot day and we were sitting out there, and it did kind of motivate the bees to come down. and,
Not bees.
well,
Yellow
hornets,
Yeah.
hornets, something that caused a number of the children and some of the adults some angst. So I thought on that purpose, being inside wasn't bad, but it was fun. Inside the building was really fun, so.
And the music was fantastic.
Yeah,
also.
the music people were there.
Did you have enough supplies?
We did.
Oh, good. I was like, I don't know, might not be enough apples.
I want to thank Joy for that too. Joy always helps us get Harvest Festival going. So thank you. And I saw Rick out there, and I think Linda took his place after a while. So, yeah, the Harvest Fest was a wonderful thing. And we, I don't know, I think marketing of the library is continuing well. maybe one of these days we'll meet as a committee, but even without meetings, we're doing pretty good.
And I don't know if anybody saw the parade of the tractors.
Oh, yeah,
That was really cute too.
Yeah.
Really
they're gonna do that again next year.
small
and
town,
longer,
you know,
much longer.
epitome of small town. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess tractors and harvest go together.
But there was a monster truck, so my grandson would have loved it.
Speaking of that, now we are at the Personnel Committee, Linda,
No report at this time.
but soon we
Soon,
will.
soon.
Soon we'll have to activate that committee, but
When
Right.
do we do the
December.
December, we do it. Do we have to do something next month? And then we get the report in December.
We work on it and then we do it all that month.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So it's gonna be before or after I leave?
Before.
before you leave, you
do
think
it in
we're gonna
December,
let
right?
you out of that?
Why are you really looking forward to?
You think we're gonna let you out of that? No.
I enjoy doing that stuff.
Yeah.
If I didn't enjoy a lot of the stuff that I've done, I wouldn't have stayed here for 12 years.
When she's gone, we'll see her out there going.
You know the countdown clock at Eaton's?
Yeah.
That's till my last meeting.
That's what you. Well, on that point, for the next committee report, the policy committee report, I think we're gonna have a little work to do
We
before
are.
the end of the year,
We
just so
are.
that you won't leave.
And I
Down
printed out
slope.
something that Mary Jo had sent me on policies that we need to take a look at and left it on the printer at home.
I am hoping after this meeting, if we could sit down with the calendar and hammer out a date for a policy committee meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully either next week or the week after.
The policy committee is Mary Jane and Alma.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
come
me.
to that though.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, these library policies, you would be really excellent, dear. So that would be lovely.
I did take the liberty of talking with Ann Sarek, the library attorney, and what I forwarded to MJ was a list of potential policies that Ann specializes in, that she has templates for to begin with. So we have a menu to choose from.
The internet policy is always extremely complicated.
They are.
So
Well, it seems like it.
So anyway, we'll see, and the policy committee can decide how they want to handle this, if they want to just go piecemeal and just go policy at a time, or if we want to just do it, do a whole bunch of them in one fell swoop. I suspect that the answer will probably be somewhere in the middle. We'll probably batch some of these, but
Well, I'm glad we're doing
And
this.
Dan, you're welcome to come.
Okay. You guys let me know what the day is.
okay.
I'm glad we're doing this before Mary Jane leaves.
Me too.
Oh. I hope you're not being facetious.
No.
Good.
When I did that thing for the art, the hanging stuff,
Mhm.
yeah, and libraries, I had a good time doing it.
Okay.
Well, good. We'll give you a really good time with these policies. Lots of fun. And then our last committee is the art committee that Michelle Montour chairs. It has not met over the summer. She's very thorough and she has kept in touch with the art committee every time some work of art or somebody wants to donate something. And we've been able to do quite a bit virtually or kind of by email. I think we might meet in, I don't know when, but we haven't met in person. But if there is anything,
Michelle did have a meeting with some of the people from the school about doing a
Oh.
student art show and probably in January, so.
okay. Great.
January,
And
February.
then the BACA, is that still on? Is it? Yeah, the
Yeah,
BACA event.
Yeah,
is
we
this
are
weekend.
hoping to be able to show the winners, people who, artists who win awards if they agree to show their pieces. We'd like to do that.
So we would probably do that this fall
Yeah.
and then the students in January. So you can take, I saw it when I was walking in the other day, this little kid was walking by looking at all those pictures of our building being built. He looked like he was really enjoying it,
It's nice.
but we might be taking that down, but I've certainly enjoyed that. over
At
the
the Baca art show, they usually have, if the student wants to sell their piece, they've got a price on it. We're not gonna do that here, are we? In the event someone has their piece hanging,
Why not?
We have that in our policies.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, basically, we'll just put whoever wants to purchase something in touch with the artist, and it's up to them.
all right, okay.
You
But
know,
hopefully
we're
it can
not- we're not
stay
part-
out.
We're not part of that transaction, but yeah.
Yeah, because we are also gonna be approaching the people that buy items at the BACA to see if they'll donate that item for a while. Some people will say no, some people.
How long will
won't.
these items be displayed?
Probably like November, December.
Good. Fun. Now, one of our most fun items is accounts payable. Unless anybody has anything else to say about our committees.
Accounts payable,
I will turn you to accounts
Excuse me.
payable. Okay, John, what do you have?
I find it,
Wait, don't we have to have a motion?
pardon me?
Don't we have to have a motion in a second and then you talk?
No, well, you want to make the motion, we can talk it. We should have
I
a
make
motion on
we
the floor.
accept his district library. What was it they call it?
Accounts payable.
Accounts payable.
As presented.
There's a move,
Yes, dear.
there's a motion. There's a motion.
I need another way.
And who would like to support that motion? It's
I'll
been
second
supported.
it.
Okay, it's been supported by several. We'll put Joy on there this time.
No.
Okay,
Going
there's a
over this list-
motion by,
Going over this list, I find it, pulling weeds, $700. I go, whoa. Anyway,
oh, the
We-
polling weeds,
We
I
have a
thought
lot-
about that.
We have a lot of,
I thought about that when I was signing checks. So I'm on my mind is
well,
on the
I do it at
same
home for
thing.
nothing.
It's
I
kind
got,
of-
Would you like to do it here for nothing?
I get a meal once in a while. No, the garden club, volunteers. and
No,
all.
I don't think you can
we
volunteer
want,
the
we want
garden
someone who
club.
systematically does it.
Okay.
Try to keep
Okay,
things nice.
my next
Yeah,
question.
Okay.
do we have a master gardener and the crew here at all? Now, does the bioswale get harvested like I do have to do all my plants at home? I cut them down. Do they harvest those, the bioswale, or just let it die?
We've just been letting it die back. I don't think that,
At my house, in the spring, I will pull.
In
all
the
those-
spring?
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
sticks that are sticking up.
See,
but
I do
let 'em
mine
stay out
before.
all year, so that birds will have some seeds out there, and you don't know what they're gonna eat out there.
Okay, but it's not gonna look like sin out there then.
It's gonna look like a native meadow area.
Okay.
There.
You're shaking your head. Okay,
Like it's supposed to look.
all right,
It's gonna look rustic,
Yes.
okay.
look a little bit.
That's right.
See what happens when you deal with all these women?
You're gonna have fun. You can't wait.
I'll sit over there like.
I don't know if we'll let that.
And you won't have another wife next to you. Correcting you.
Anything else besides, I must admit though, I looked at the price of pulling weeds.
Yeah.
So.
Well, right now especially, I bet they spend a lot of time in
it's been a lot
there.
of time there, yeah.
Because until that's totally full with the native stuff, there's lots of room in there for the other stuff that you don't want to take over, taking over. Once it's, it'll get,
Yeah. And I
really
want
nice and
someone
packed
who
in
knows
there.
what they're doing. I had someone who didn't know what they were doing and they were pulling our flowers, so it's.
yeah.
And of course, that bioswale is totally bee friendly, right?
Mhm. bee and bird and butterfly and other pollinators, all of those. that
We are
friendly.
pollinating the world right here at this library.
Hey Joe, is this monthly or is it just several months at a
That,
time?
I think that's several months. I don't think I've got.
Yeah,
anything from
no,
them
we
for a
haven't
while.
had
Yeah.
it monthly. It's not a
Yeah, it was never
recurring,
before.
it's not a recurring expense.
Maybe it's for the summer. And then it's-
I can go back and look at the actual bill to see what time period they have on there.
When I was going through these bills, I was pleased to see that the very biggest check we had was for library stuff. That's heartening. We're spending on library services. And I know that the library network saves us a bunch. I just got notified by the library network automated phone to pick up my book that had been on hold, so.
What's the equipment, the TLM equipment invoice for $2,000? It's like kind of in the mid, towards the top.
I'll have to go back and look at what that is. We had to update all of our firewall, a new firewall and stuff like that.
Well, it's probably.
And also sometimes the way the software works, it doesn't always pull. It's like it pulls like,
Yeah, I know.
there might be a book bill in there too. I have to
Yeah,
go back and look at
yeah.
the individual invoice. I try to catch that and get it, but
So most of our big costs are for people, but then the library kind of services are the major ones.
So,
And the rest of the stuff.
cost for a conference, how many people did we send?
we are sending 2 people.
Okay, so
It's
it's
a 3-day conference, so.
Okay, all right.
So the Lapeer District Library, look for a lost item, it's $92.99. Well, is it a set of encyclopedias or
Well,
what?
as good as, I think it was like a medical exam test tutor type item.
Now, do we charge the recipient who lost the
Yeah.
book? Okay.
It is a costly book. Okay. Any other comments before we act on this motion? We do have a proper motion in front of us that has been supported. And all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by saying nay. The ayes have it. And as usual, we have looked at it pretty closely, which we tend to do. Now, we're at the point of the full director's report. We already got part of it.
I just want to add to the positive comments about Harvest Fest. I was so blown away and overjoyed with how many people were attending this year. I've estimated that we had approximately 600 people. We had a lot. The parade really brought people in. The weather was, even though it was cooler, it was just a perfect, beautiful fall day. And everybody was having a lot of fun, and it just,
perfect gathering.
I was filled with joy that day. It was just a really, really nice day. So.
Yeah, I was all excited while I was outside. Then when it came inside, I got even more excited.
Yeah.
It was really, even upstairs, but certainly downstairs, it was just wonderful. And I went over and sat, there was a little quiet time. I went over and sat in the fireplace room, and then the music people came to set up. And so even that room became quite livened up.
Mhm.
It was a
They were
beautiful,
good,
it was a
yeah.
beautiful affair, but I'm saddened that the museum did not take part. I want that in the paper.
You should probably go to one of their meetings.
Museum meetings?
No,
Oh, we know. Yeah.
supervisor meeting,
Well,
or township meeting.
on the issue of the museum, when I did ask the question at the chamber thing where all entities, the township supervisor specifically said that it was up to all three entities. And that's what was
And they
holding
couldn't get it together, or they couldn't get
Holding-
together.
things up.
Yeah.
And that all three, not just the executives, but the boards had to agree. But it has been 2 years. So anyway, I continually, I bring it up with him even, privately when I see him. Because this is the cultural area and we did all this planning to be co-located with the museum and they have spent money, taxpayer money to fix the place up, so it would be, it is something that I think a lot of us at the library are very interested in seeing move forward. Whoever's responsible, get it going.
Okay, I did give you some added statistics this time, just showing the last 3 years of stats at the media center. Just so that you can kind of see that there is a progression, that the numbers are going up overall. You can kind of look at the over/under percentages.
There's circulation,
So
reference
circulation.
questions, and computer.
Library visits, so everything,
Is it
everything is, in general, everything is steadily increasing, so.
Is it cost effective though, having 2 staff members there with the numbers we're getting?
Well, we have a commitment to do this, and I don't think we've finished trying to make this work, so
And it's still growing.
it's still growing.
We had a lot of difficulty with that because of the pandemic, even more than here,
Yeah.
because
Right,
the
we made a
capacity
lot of
limits, when your
capacity problems in the
capacity is
beginning
only,
especially, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a
15
moonlight clause on
people.
this, a time element where we're
10 years.
10 years, okay.
So we, as I've said in past meetings, it's a fantastic place to do classes, and we're very happy with doing all of our computer classes down there. We're also working on we're going to be adding, we do our tech tutoring here, where we do like a one-on-one session with someone who's having they've got a new iPhone and they're having trouble working it, or something, questions like that are, they can make an appointment, like a
That's
45-minute
neat.
appointment to sit down with someone and work through things.
That's good.
So we're looking at extending that to the media center as well, so, because I think that would be a nice place to be able to offer that kind of one-on-one service. Possibly also having any by appointment, but also drop-ins are welcome, so that's something we're working on setting up.
I was especially happy to see these additions in the director's report. I've been talking to Mary Jo about this, that we, especially, we've had to put a lot of attention into this building and what we have to do here. And because of the particular limitations that the pandemic put on the media center, we weren't, we were so delayed in being able to do down there. So it will behoove us to spend some time just concentrating on that and seeing how it goes. And I'd urge people to stop in there when they can and get a sense of how it's being used and talk to our staff about what they're experiencing down there. But it is good that the trends are growing.
Going in-
It's
it's going in the
small
right direction,
numbers,
right.
but they're moving in the right direction.
We are in if my department heads seem like they're pulling their hair out right now, it's because we are trying to convert all of our timesheet and scheduling functions to Paychex, our payroll company, trying to automate it. And we have a lot of different schedules and a lot of different moving pieces. In combination with that, we're adding hours, adding Sunday hours, doing a lot of different things with our scheduling. So trying to make it all work, some short-term pain, but I think in the long run, it's going to make it a lot easier. It's going to make it a lot easier for our staff to be able to have an app on their phone that they can look at to see when they're scheduled to work. It's a little bit easier. We've been kind of piecemealing it together now with Google calendars and stuff, and it just doesn't always cut it. So.
Mary Jo, is the media center gonna be open on Sundays too?
No, just for me.
And we start this coming Sunday.
And Sunday hours begin this Sunday, so
Right, and
Sunday.
they're listed right here on the
1 to 5,
director's
yep.
report. It starts this Sunday, and then on Monday, we'll start the 9:30 opening.
So yeah, October 17th, we'll begin opening at 9:30 on Monday through Saturday. So,
Great.
I didn't even know that was on the table.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
So, a lot of people would like us to be open just a tiny bit earlier than we are, so. I think that will be.
Little kids, so get up early.
Grandma.
Yep.
Well, good, as usual. And then the extra things, people might have some comments on the various extra pieces and the advertisements for our own programming that was included in our packet.
I didn't know Lizzo was from Detroit.
I know.
Did not know
I
that.
know.
Yeah, she's gonna do something
Yeah.
at St. Andrew's Hall. She's doing so that's kind of fun. That's a fun piece.
Yeah, it really was.
I thought this article was interesting. So it really talked about how the Library of Congress is trying to make its collection relevant to people, and I
That's
thought this was
perfect.
perfect. So, we are doing another joint program with the Rotary Club. So Tuesday, October 18th at 6:30 p.m. we have a program on plastics pollution. It's one of the second program we're doing on an environmental issue. So the first one we did in September was very well attended. So hoping this one will be too. I also included the Friends flyer in here. They're having their big used book sale November 12th through the 14th. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
How are the Friends feeling about their space?
I think they've worked through it. I think it's working out.
The Friends, mostly in the person of Elaine, are interested in, will be welcoming of any of our board members who might be able to give some time for this, for the used book sale. So all of you think about whether or not you can volunteer. I've usually done a little bit with the book sales, and it's always interesting.
It's fun.
It is fun. And the little kids, well, I'm kind of partial to little kids learn over there. It's kind of fun looking at them.
Those romance book people that buy the romance books. I can't believe how many romance books these people read. Terrible. And that was an insight for me.
I was impressed by the number of visitors we've had so far. Almost 31,000 people come to the building with almost 67,000 things checked out, which is amazing.
That's just since July. Yeah.
Well, and just to look at the Sumter one, every single one of the highest records since they've been open was this September. So
It's just,
Yeah.
it's really beginning, I think, to catch on. I haven't had a chance to talk to the Sumter folks about it, and I think it would be good for all of us, maybe Joy, maybe we can, we did a number of official visits with them, getting that going. We might want
a
to
lot
talk
of those
about.
folks are not there anymore.
Yeah, it's a very different board. The man that came to the,
3 of them are dead.
Well, yeah.
You're so
yeah.
positive.
No, but
Well, they
no,
are.
three of the people that were so pro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, having a branch down there, and Johnny Botters.
Even the people who were involved with us creating that branch, once
Right.
the millage passed and everything, they're gone,
Right.
not necessarily dead.
Right.
But Bates and Johnny Waters were very active.
Yeah,
And then there's quite a few.
Bill,
Bill Ham.
Yes.
And Alan Bates.
Alan
So
Bates,
both of them had passed away before we had the beam signing. So I signed both their names in their absence.
Okay,
Just in case you ever get a chance to look at the beam again.
I hope you got their signatures right.
Well, that, again, let's keep that media center on our radar, and as representatives of all three communities, it'll behoove all of us to just ask questions and be in touch with Sumter community about the maximizing that facility.
Are you still
Okey-dokey.
accepting books?
Mhm.
Okay. I know Randy's brought in a couple of boxes.
There's a little sign at the circulation desk
Oh, okay.
about having people bring in
Because
books.
for a while you weren't, and then you were
Yeah.
accepting one by your bag or something, but now
I got a lot.
it's unlimited.
I wouldn't say unlimited.
She's got a truck full.
That's my basement.
There seems to be there seems to be some difference of opinion on the Friends too, as to how many they can take in, but. And their space, you know, they're using a lot of the space in the overall staff room. A lot of their books are being held there, so. But the Friends are a real boost to our, to our overall function, and I think it's great for us to maximize everything they do.
Weren't they talking at one time about having an off-site place to store their books?
I can't remember that.
I don't
It's
even remember that
possible,
one.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I can't imagine.
Right,
either.
I used to do that.
Right. This week.
Pulling in for the big sales.
Mhm.
It was, I think,
I don't
you
know.
gotta
I
have
don't
a
know how
young
much it
group
costs.
to
I
do
do.
that.
That would be kind of.
I think
Much it
that was-
costs to
I think-
store, I mean, for the unit, I don't know.
They thought it was worth it, but I mean, I think
Yeah,
they had a
museum.
minimal storage place.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, are there any other questions to Mary Jo? Any comments on the programs that we've got coming up? We've always got a lot of stuff for October, and I see we've got another Dino-vember with the dinosaur guy. Oh,
Yeah, paleo gel, and that program is open to all ages.
I could
If you're
fly in my
interested.
Boston granddaughter, a great expert on,
And science.
that's a good one too. Well, thank you. And now we move to item 9, which is trustee comments. I will we'll do it by volunteer. Who would like to go first? Oh, and I got Mary Jane and John. Mary Jane and John are down there again.
Let's go in reverse alphabetical order.
I won.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to welcome Dan.
Thank you.
Don't get used to this uneventful meeting.
Okay.
We do get, it runs quite much longer, but welcome, that's it. No,
Now I can
no
talk.
dear, yeah.
Okay, so you want to up me, because I wanted to welcome
Well,
Dan.
thank you, Dan.
Everybody's gonna fight over it.
No, welcome, because I know your parents so well, I know you're gonna be a great fit for this group.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
If you need any counseling, I'd be happy to talk.
I'm sure I'll need a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
So I had a funny thing happen, and I had nobody around to take a video, a TikTok thing or anything, and I couldn't do it while I was trying to save this bee. It was last week, it was a chillier day, and here's this little bee going around in circles in the drive area of the parking lot, and I knew somebody was either gonna step on him or run him over with the car.
Was it cold?
It was on
It
the,
was chilly.
it was on the
So,
ground.
yeah, he was on the parking lot, so I had one of the, not this thick of a book, the book flyer like that, you know, that other,
Yeah.
okay? And I have a books in my hand, I finally put those down, I put my keys down, my purse down,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to gather this little guy up, and I'm talking to him. Like, I'm trying to save your life, get your little butt over here, and he'd like get up on the magazine and then. And finally, I bet I was out there for 5 minutes at least, trying to capture this creature. Got him up on the grass and I said, buddy, you are on your own now." I'm going home to read my book.
Dan, that's not a required duty. Okay? I just want you to know.
Did we get honey?
Protect all the birds and bees.
We have to
alive.
say-
Why would
Save
why
the
would he
bees.
be just lolling around on
If
Might
the?
be in
it's
the process of
cold,
dying,
and that,
too.
if they're cold, yeah, the bees go down to a small group, all the boys are, they died, they kick them out of the hive. And, but when they're cold, they get very sluggish, they can't
And
fly
obviously
very
confused.
easily,
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
just kept going in this circle like this.
yeah. That's also, one of the effects of, what are those? The systemic, pesticide that Bayer makes, that goes into the
Roundup?
plant. No, it's, corticosteroid, yeah, something like that. And it's systemic, and I guess it confuses bees. I don't know which one it was, but that is one
Well,
of.
he wasn't talking.
But you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, where was a TikTok person when I needed one?
Well, thank you, you guys. Who's got something to top that?
It's
Joy.
not a topper, but I did bring the IPSI director through for the first time since she's been here. She wanted to look at our signage and Dan is their, Dan and O'Neill are their companies that they're working with.
For Superior.
And they're doing, she says she can see a lot of the same colors in the youth area that they used here. She says it's a different feel, but it's, there's some similarities. And they did the book brigade.
Yeah, I saw
Yes,
that.
It was a lot longer.
Yeah. Bunch of people they had.
I had to have, I don't know, 400 or 500 people if they were gonna make it work. And towards the end, I saw people like running from the tape, the length of this table to get it to the next person. But anyway, it's good to know our library is inspiration for the life.
Was she impressed with your work?
It's not my work. If she was impressed, she's a very conservative, she's very conservative with her applause, let me put it like that.
It's too bad.
Yeah, but that's okay. If you don't have a negative, it's a good thing. She's a very even person, so I knew she liked it. I could see that she liked it, and that's.
What'd she think of the terrace?
Oh, she loved that. Yeah, I did take her out there. She's like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I didn't, you don't have any idea that this is really here until you get to it.
So they're doing a whole new building, not just a renovation.
Right.
The Superior joined the district in 2007, the poor side of Superior. There's the Ann Arbor district, school district side, and then there was the Willow Run. And they joined the library system in 2007 and were promised a new building, and then 2008 hit. And so there was a make do library, maybe a little bigger than this room, that was
In the fire station or
in the,
something?
yeah, it
Oh
was
my
one
gosh,
room
wow,
of
small.
a fire station. And so Lisa lives in Superior Township, the director, and that was one of her first things, is we gotta get them what we've promised. And so it's about a 7,400 square foot building. But lots of light and nice and open, and
Is it,
and a drive up book return, so there's some nice.
they said their grand opening is in the middle of November.
14th, yeah.
Yeah, are they,
Hook or crook?
are they open now, or did they do a soft opening? They're not.
Nope,
open
they
yet.
didn't allow anybody from the public to see the new, it's gonna be
Oh.
unveiled November
I
14th,
see.
yeah.
Okay. There was a nice cover, there was coverage in M Live about that or
Yeah.
something I read,
And
and had a lot of
great
pictures
press, I
of
think, too.
Yeah.
book brigade.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good to know that the folks we chose to do our building still doing good stuff and some similarities, and because it's so great here.
Yeah, everybody wants to be like Belleville. Okay,
That's
next up,
So I noticed that our next meeting is on election day.
yeah, we always have these election day meetings.
So I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to continue to serve on this board.
Well,
Put my plug
make
out there.
sure-
you're a
Make sure we're voting.
Yes, be sure to vote, and I guess that's the way for a library board, that's, other people have big victory celebrations, we'll be sitting up here having our meeting, our victory.
If the three of you vote for yourselves and nobody else
Four of
votes,
us.
you still.
We made it.
We're good. Yeah, don't forget to
I don't
vote.
think
Right
that-
in,
That's my
but
mom.
it has to, you have to
Right.
first get that, you have to go to the county to get the write-in.
And nobody has gotten do you get that information if people request write-in status? Does the paper get that?
No, I would have to call, they
Hmm.
would give it to me, I'm sure, if I call, but I don't know enough to call, you know.
None of us
And
have,
I have to call
none of us
county
have
and
heard
that's how-
anything
them.
about
I don't like to call.
it. It's a lot of
I
holes.
understand.
Well, I'm optimistic we can plan
I
that.
don't
We
think-
will be able to congratulate each other and ourselves. And then the next time we'll have other things to sell. We'll just have so many celebrations going on. Yeah, we will be meeting the night of the election. And anything else, Tanya? Okay, Alma?
Alma, just excited about the library being open on Sunday. Really looking forward to it. And Mary Jo and I were talking at the Harvest Fest, and we were just saying, you know, how excited the community is, and so we did the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes you feel good, and the people really, really love and support their library. And I appreciate that, because when I first moved to the area, I could not believe the library. It was just, staff was always friendly, but it was just hard to believe that this building had people coming into it.
Somebody came to my branch at Ipsy and they said, they had a Belleville card, and I said, oh, this is an old Belleville card, have you not been to the new one? And they said, no, they like that quaint old cozy one, haven't been to the big one yet.
Oh, really?
I'm like, well, you'll like it. There's some cozy areas.
Yeah.
So they were probably a little bit like that bee.
Oh, yeah, and the kids, they were just so excited, and one lady had her daughter, and they were over in one area, and she was doing like this, like she was so ready to go. And her daughter said, okay, we gotta come over here, so she gets on the computers and start working on the computers, so it was just nice to see, just nice to see.
Well, I wanna say, I should have said this in my statement, but I really, really, really appreciate how great the staff are. It just,
That was
here,
mine.
let me
I was
get,
gonna
okay,
say.
all right,
You all have
go. I
taken
just
all
wanted
Yeah,
to,
and how
all the
they-
stuff to them.
I
and-
really think it was amazing the how,
Yes.
how they work together
Yeah.
and how everybody's so helpful to each other.
Yeah, they are.
And they even got some kids outside, you know, working, showing kids how to do stuff. So they're encouraging people to really participate. They don't just talk to people. They really get them to be involved. And I really like that.
great. Everybody
Great
has,
mix of people.
Yeah.
everybody has built on, and that is exactly, it was the Harvest Fest. It was exciting. That was what but I think we've covered the staffing and all the, you know, the all hands on deck, the really,
Well, if you
interest
figure
and
how many
involvement.
things you had going on,
yeah.
you really had to have it planned well, or it would have never come off.
And I
So-
remember being exhausted where I couldn't hardly stand up. So it's just like, oh, I just have to shop.
You don't have to do the whole thing your own self.
Yeah, sure, kid.
Well, that, it's both acknowledging joy for continuing to keep Harvest Fest keeping on moving and the entire staff, but that it isn't, it's a kind of a signature event for the library, and hopefully it will be the cultural center and we'll have a partner again to do the Harvest Fest
Surely we will
in
next
the
year.
future.
The parking lot is, it's always cars out there. so
Yeah,
it's
it was
nice
really
to see
full.
too.
I
Talking about-
stopped over at the coffee shop afterwards. I think they were exhausted.
Talking about-
Good sales.
I think our success was, they were exhausted.
Talking about back history, didn't Joy have something to do initially with Harvest Fest in
Yeah.
the very beginning?
Yeah, it was we used to have a fall thing at our house with friends, and I was like, we could do this at the library, all the stuff we did.
But you had wine at your house.
Yes, we did. We had wine and sangria and hot chocolate. for the kiddos. And we had sack races and all that
Oh, wow.
stuff back then, yeah.
Good
But I
idea.
was like, this is a community that I think they would embrace. That's-
Good idea.
Well,
But
we
then
used to have a-
bringing in the partners made it the real.
What, is there any plan in the future for the petting zoo that we've had in the past?
I am not involved at that level anymore.
Joe, do you know?
Yeah, we're actually, I've got a group of staff members who really want to sit down with Harvest Fest and really
That would be.
really think about
Mhm.
what the different things we're doing in the crafts and everything now that we're in our new building. And kind of
'Cause it's too
retool,
messy.
well, not necessarily, but just possibly retool a few things, so I'm
That's fine.
kind of excited. I think they're all excited about it, so I'm
Was
Well,
there
it does get
something-
old.
Was
Yeah.
there something that happened that went on
That was
on
the-
Charles Street
yeah, that was
outside
the
of the
nickel-
fireplace room?
the nickel dig they did over there.
Oh.
They used to be at the
yeah.
museum.
That used to be,
We
I
actually-
saw Tom.
We
up
actually
there.
have less, in some ways, we have less lawn space than we used to, so as far as like doing the petting farm and stuff, it's a little bit more difficult. so.
They can do it on concrete. I mean,
Okay.
we've done
That's
it at
good
my
enough.
branch,
Okay.
but it's crazy. I mean, yeah, but they can do it on concrete.
Mm.
Petting zoo, they prefer on grass, but you have enough grass for that. That's the horses,
Okay.
ponies and a few, but you don't have
I
to
don't
do that
think we'll
part.
be doing ponies. That might be. a
So
little much.
anyway, we're gonna, as I said, though, we're gonna look at everything with fresh eyes next year.
Well, you had
I
great
can give you the
success this
shopping
year.
list and then I'll just come and enjoy.
Well, I'm at item 10, the chair comments, and between what everybody else has said and all my butting into everybody else's talk, I don't have anything else to say. So.
But you did hear what she said?
I know, hurry up.
Madam Chair, I make a motion
Wow.
that this meeting be adjourned.
I second that.
It is moved and seconded that the meeting be adjourned, and let everybody know it's at 8:30,
Man.
1 hour meeting.